Well, I just seen the House of Horror, and I was in 2019. I was held captive by Pretend a Lot Narcissist in his apartment. He would not let me leave. Like, I was held captive by my late husband, James Lester Sapone. He would not let me leave the Four Seasons. They wouldn't let me go. They sat in front of the door like Glenn did, like my mom did in my bedroom. So all these people repeated. I mean, I'm not, wasn't totally abused like the House of Horror. But I was around people. I was around insane abusers, and Pretend a Lot Narcissist was a major one. I can say at least my dead husband didn't say I raped my own child. And for Pretend a Lot Narcissist to do that to me for over a year, scream at me last year in the Mission. He screamed at me. And then he finally, this year sometime, I don't even know when. Oh, I don't want to talk about that anymore. What do you mean? He tortured me that I raped my child. Which, because he rapes children. So he threw that on me. So yeah, he's a real sicko. Like, the House of Horror. I mean, I don't care how badly you were tortured. You do not torture another human being, and Pretend a Lot Narcissist tortured me. And I mean, so two grown men to isolate me. I was isolated in his place, Pretend a Lot Narcissist's place, for 1.5 months. Now, I did get a break when he went to work at Amazon for 5 days, but I wasn't allowed out. I tried, I begged to go downstairs to the bathroom to come, he would not let me leave. I mean, that's real psychological warfare. It's really damaging when the control freak controls you to that extent. And yeah, I'm a grown adult. I'm 50 something. I'm 51, living with Pretend a Lot Narcissist. I was 51 years old in 2019. And yeah, his little apartment was the House of Horror to me. A rotted refrigerator, screaming at me daily that I raped my son. And yes, he was the House of Horror in 2019 with me. And then I escaped and I was able to live in my husband's red Caravan, but that wasn't good enough. No, I mean, Pretend a Lot Narcissist had the father of lies, the father of all lies, Satan. He had to take me back into his apartment and pretend that everything, oh, well, I'm helping her out. I don't want her to freeze outside. I'm a good guy. I'm good. I'm so good. I don't want her to drink. I want her to, he almost got me to kill myself in 2019. But I went over to my friend's trailer's house. Trailer. And I had an emotional breakdown. And he doesn't even remember that. That's how evil Pretend a Lot Narcissist is. He doesn't remember me screaming and crying and saying, I'm not good enough. I everything I do is wrong. I can't. I'm the worst person in the world, because was all of his abuse, all of his whole month and a half of abuse to me. Yeah, he's a awful. I don't call them humans. I don't call him a human. He's just insane. And for his calculated, call today, I'm the one who called him and then texted him. And he calculated out when he was going to call me, and then he calls me 20 minutes later. He made sure it was 20 minutes and 20 minutes. 20 minutes after I called, he called me. And then he texted, and then he calls 20 minutes later and says, I called you twice. He's pretending that he's the good guy. And then I'm totally insane, and I'll just call up Crazy's intervention again. Well, why does his label override my label? You know what? I want him to turn off my fucking phone. Because he calls Crazy's intervention, and he goes and tells them, well, she's diagnosed super crazy. So that's proof that he's evil, man. He's totally evil. And I will tell his pastor. I don't care. His pastor has to know how totally insane he really is. I mean, his pastor, didn't notice that me and him were sitting in the opposite parts of the room in their little church. When I went to church, I lived in the car. Towards the end, I went to his church because I liked going to church, and I liked some of the people there. I didn't even talk to him. I mean, his pastor didn't notice, I'm totally staying away from him for a good reason. He's evil. I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was try to stay away from him. And he does whatever he wants. And his pastor was like, why don't you give me one of your cars? And you know what? That would have been a good thing, but no. No. You know why I couldn't? Because he bought it for Purple Alien Scammer Stranger. He bought the car in his name, his driver's license, and she was driving the cars. He's totally insane. So there's not anything good about him. Just a complete insane person, like the House of Horrors. You can't say there's anything good about that person. He tortured me. Oh, that was only 4 months. No, you don't know my whole story. You don't know my whole story. Him taking me to Friendly's, that's one of his beautiful memories of being so nice to me. My grown atheist boy remembers when he was 5 years old. that he couldn't even get a refill from horrifying pretend-a-lot narcissist. When he was 5, he wouldn't even refill the sodas, the expensive $1.80 sodas that my children got. He couldn't even get a refill on the sodas. This is how evil Pretend-a-Lot Narcissist was. He took us to Friendly's. I only had $5 on me. I don't even know how I got that. But I guess from my mom. Sometimes barely giving me like $2 for candy money. Like, somehow I saved it up. And I had $5, so I wanted to naturally go to Giant Food Store. But selfish, insane, abusing Pretend-a-Lot Narcissist had to go to his Friendly's restaurant with his coupon, order a meal, and didn't. And then he texted me, well, I offered to buy you a meal, but you wanted to make me look bad, so you deliberately refused my wonderful offer. I mean, if you were gonna buy us all something to eat, yeah, that would have been a different story. No, he was a selfish, insane nut, an insane abuser, and took us there, tortured us while we watched him eat. We had to sit there for 40 minutes. So I grabbed the receipt across the table when she put the receipt down. And he attacked me on the table. And it was that bad that the customers that were right beside us had to pick up their plates and their cups and move. So that's how insane Pretend-a-Lot Narcissist is. And he has no memory at all of that Friendly's restaurant. He actually remembered that we all ate. And then I had to make him realize that I didn't eat at all. And then he twists the truth and says, well, I offered you a meal and you just wanted to make me look bad, like you always do. And, just saying anything that he wants, just changing the whole, Oh, well, if your children would have wanted something to eat, then why didn't they ask? Like, you wouldn't buy them a second expensive soda, but I didn't have any money to buy them anything. Buy them French fries, what normal people do. He's not normal at all. What you do? What do you buy kids in a restaurant? In Friendly's restaurant? What would you buy a 3 and a 5-year-old? Buy them an order of fries. There you go. Chicken McNuggets and fries, but just French fries. No, he was a stubborn, selfish, insane abuser that couldn't even do that. So yeah, him and my dead husband, late James Lester Sapone, they're both evil, just like the House of Horrors. I mean, they treated me they didn't chain me up, but they might as well have chained me up in their places. Because I'm not allowed out of their sight. I'm not allowed to talk to anyone on the phone. That's insane isolation. And to tell everybody that there's something wrong with me and I'm crazy and I make up stories and it's all in my head. No, it wasn't in my head at all. They treated me that bad, but nobody outside would know that. How would they know that? They just see me screaming and they just naturally think, oh, well, I'm the insane one. Well, look what he has to put up with. When in reality, he's completely nuts. And he has 2 cars. Why does he have 2 cars still? He's just a nutcase. Because he said, well, because one of my cars is for your storage. Yeah, I saw what the fuck was in the car. It's all rotted fucking shit. There was rotted fucking food and tea bags, and all I got was papers, and I should have dropped them right there in the parking lot, because there was nothing on the papers. I threw out the fucking old spices, because I can't stand them. But the papers, I thought I had a diary that I written in Pyramid in 2019. And he got that. He went through every single piece of paper. That's the only thing I wanted, and he stole it. I should have dropped my papers, my bag of papers, in the parking lot and left. He's just super evil. He is the father of lies and Satan. Yeah, there's not one good thing to say about him. He's just demented and evil. To be that obsessed over me and go through all my shit and steal the one group of papers, which was in a notebook. And he just like, I wouldn't go through your things. And your stuff in my car, it's for your storage. See, I don't, there is nothing left. I already knew that. I mean, I grabbed what I wanted, the papers, and there's nothing there. You can throw away any of the rotted food and the old, I found beautiful dishes, other dishes that I could care less. That if there's a mug in there that, anything that's in there I could care less about. Because material things is nothing. I actually need money. Take out my teeth and everything. I need money for more than a professional operation. I need money for just regular hygiene. Good conditioner for my really bad dry hair. I need really, really good conditioner. I have this horrible VO5 Suave shit. It's bad. The Suave and VO, it's just cheap conditioner, and it doesn't do any good. And I need rubbing alcohol 91%. I need that's about all that I don't have any care products, because, I'm homeless this whole time, and, pretending like narcissists and my dead husband never ever took care of me, never ever did one thing for me. So they're just totally nuts. Actually pretending that they ever cared about me. They never cared about themselves. They absolutely hated themselves and took all their hatred out on me. That's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I didn't want this to be that long.